So for week one, it's the end of week one, and I'm going to talk to you about how it's gone. So yeah. For week one, the plan was to research different tutorial styles, videos, websites, all those sorts of things. Because I need to know how to, before even going into doing the tutorials, how I'm going to even start. So I have got some research that I've done this week. So training videos and tutorial videos anchor themselves to be specific learning objectives. So at the beginning of the video, before you even move on to teaching, it has an objective of what you want them to achieve by the end. A great training video and teaching video is really easy to understand. It has a logistical structure, and it also remains relevant and memorable. All these things are very important because you don't want to just go, yeah, this is this, carry on waffling, and then they've got bored by 2 minutes in and they've clicked off your video. So I think having a plan before you even start the tutorial is really good. So I need to sit down and plan every single tutorial, even if it's the night before, just some bullet points on things of what I want to say and what I want to cover. So I have a structure. But I also need to always think to myself, because I can talk a lot, is don't keep waffling on. Don't keep going off and branching out into different subjects. Keep on the topic that you've originally said that you was going to do and that you want to achieve by the end. Tutorials are designed to give you the space to engage more actively within course content. So it deep dives into stuff. It doesn't just cover the basics. It deep dives, which is important because I don't want to just cover basics. I need to deep into it and really pick out some good context. Tutorial videos are go-to instructions. So it's like when you watch a video on how to do IKEA flat pack, you go to a video of teaching you how to do it because they're easy to understand. It's an instructional method for a teaching process, and it gives you step-by-step instructions. It's again referring to having an IKEA flat pack. If you don't know how to do it, you go on and watch the video, and it gives you step-by-step instructions. It teaches you. It gives you instructions on how to learn and how to progress. They are also sometimes referred to how-to videos because in the title it might be how to play drum groove. It might be how to put an IKEA flat pack furniture together. They are referred to how-to videos. They are designed to improve individual skills and often use footage of real people giving demonstrations. So for me, it would be giving drum lessons, physically filming myself, giving the drum lesson, and demonstrating different drum grooves and slowly breaking them down. These ways of giving the demonstrations give a really good understanding of what is being taught to the audience, because if you are just going, this is a drum groove, 1 2 3 4, 1 2 3 4, and that's it, and you don't teach it and you don't deep it into anything, then they're not being taught anything. So you've got to deep in and give proper demonstrations. Some studies show that our brains scientifically retain more information when watching a video as compared to reading a text, which this is really important because, as I said before, there's a reason why I want to do videos, not write a textbook or anything on drums. I want to do videos because, as you can see from today's generation, it's a lot of people most people are online. Most people are online. Not many people go to the old-fashioned way of reading a book. So that is the biggest thing of why I want to do tutorial videos. And again, it scientifically proves that the brain retains more information if you're listening to it than reading it. Because if you're reading it, you can just skim over the text and go, yeah, that's it. But if you don't read it and you listen to it, your brain, it's like listening to music. When you're listening to the music and you've never heard a song before, you're listening to these lyrics and you keep replaying that song, those lyrics your brain's retaining the lyrics, and then next minute you know it off by heart. Where this, it's the same as a video. Movies, you could even watch a movie 4 or 5 times and then know the lyrics for different scenes and the words. So that's why it's better to do videos. One study from Forrester Research suggests that 1 minute of a video equates to 1.8 million words of text. So your text that you've done, millions of words that you've written, can be said in a 1 minute video, and you could retain all that information in 1 minute, where if you're reading a text it could take you 4 or 5 days if it's that long. So I think that's really important. The goal of a tutorial is to help individuals overcome academic challenges and lead them to independent learning, because at the beginning you don't want people to keep relying on. At the end of my goal is to keep them happy so they know what they're doing. I don't want them to having to go to different websites and different researches because they haven't got what they wanted from my videos. So hopefully by the end I've given the learning objective for the tutorial, they've overcome their academic challenge of what they wanted to learn. Educational websites may include games, videos, or websites with resources related to the subject that serve tools to enhance learning and teaching. So on my website I might have little pull-off points of games. It's just different things that I could consider to put on to make it more interesting for people to retain information. Tutorial websites enable the individual to set their own learning pace, which is important. You can do that with textbooks, but with textbooks you can get all in your own head, skim the words, you might miss stuff. With videos you can pause, you can replay, you can go back as many times as you want, and no one's going to know that you've... Like when I learned how to play the piano, I go onto YouTube, I watch the videos, and then I think I'm going to learn the next 10 seconds. I keep replaying those 10 seconds over and over and over again until I've got that part. And I don't have to tell anyone that I took 2 days to learn that little section, because that's the privilege of tutorial videos. There's also an added flexibility of setting the schedule that fits everyone's agenda. So if you want to watch one video and you're ready to sit down, but you get called to go and and you've watched 10 minutes and you get called to go and do something, you can pause the video and come back to it when you're free. That's another privilege of videos. As a result, using online educational platforms allows for a better balance of work and studies. So there's no need to give anything up. It's very accessible. You don't need to have to go out your way to go and get like the book from the library. It's really accessible. You can do it at any time you like. If you're on the bus and you want to watch it going back from school, if you're on the train, if you're in the car, not if you're driving, but if you're in the car and you've got nothing to do and you really want to learn how to play the drums, it's simple, it's very accessible. So why tutorial videos? Again, they are very accessible, but also, especially for my target audience, I'm suiting kind of a younger generation from up to like 40s, 50s. So so a lot of 50s and from 14 plus use online. So if they need to slow down the pace or anything, they are accessible to do so. What is my goal for the project? This is what I've also done in this week. I've also sat down and thought, what do I actually want to achieve? So my goal over the next coming weeks is to create a series of drumming tutorials, going from teaching how to play simple drum grooves, so how to read drum music, to how to record drums in the studio, and what mics you would use and how you would do that progressing forward. It gets more complicated as the tutorials go on. This way, this will present it on the website, on the timeline chain. You will see each tutorial video getting more complex. Who is my target audience? I've covered this, but my target audience will be anyone learning to play drums from the age of 14, I'd say, as I think it's an appropriate age for my tutorial video website, but also anyone above the age of 14. I think 14 onwards is a very good starting point. Anyone under can, but also it's where I'm thinking of starting is I need to know what language I'm going to use for 14-year-olds, but also for like 50-year-olds if they want to watch the video. My target audience can also be beginner musical technicians, as they might want to learn different recording techniques, but also music for performers, as they might not know any musical technical elements, so they might want to learn how to be a drum recorder, play the drums, but also record themselves, go to a studio and record themselves if they're an independent artist. So there isn't a specific age range for my tutorials, but that's kind of who I'm aiming for, is that kind of bracket. What will be my unique selling point? My unique selling point will be that I will be teaching both performance elements of the drums, but also technical elements of the drums. So there's a massive range which is very beneficial for me, compared to maybe other people who do this. Each week there'll be kind of dropping in points to say, this is how I think it's going. And then I think by the end of week 2, if you don't think it's going to how I originally planned it, I think it'll be time to have a different retrack plan, and think maybe I need to slow down or maybe fasten up the pace. So yeah, at the end of each week, I'll be sitting down talking about how my weeks went, if I've done any research or learned anything, be sitting down to talk to you about how and what I've learned. So yeah, I think that's what I've learned in week 1. So for the next week, I'll be sticking to the plan and start proper nailing down the project and getting the actual stuff started. So yeah.